Hello, everybody. My name is Miriam, and I'm going to take you on a journey of love, a journey on the wings of spirit, a journey through the thick and muddy and thin of human relationships, of relating with ourselves and others, the way that we have been used to conform, and the ways that we're learning to decondition ourselves. This journey on the edge of the void helps you to navigate in the liminal, in the uncertainty of this life. So, where to begin? This episode is called Baby Don't Hurt Me, Don't Hurt Me No More. What is love? And so I feel that in order to just give it a really, really good sending up for this journey, for this venture, how about we begin with the foundations? What is love? How are we dealing with that? I really don't want to get lost into commonplaces and super used stereotypes and exhausted semantics. I wish for us to be really honest. And this is why I'm here. I want to be honest with you. I wish to be so honest with you, just like I am with myself and with my inner circle and my life, and share a little bit about those uncomfortable topics and the ones that, in fact, are causing the most vulnerability and struggles, let us say, or complications when it comes to this human experience. And no, I'm not going just yet, at least not today, going to talk about what being a human means. But let us just assume that we're all starting from the same assumptions and understanding and understanding. As your mistress of ceremony, I feel that, and as love incarnate, that is here to be loved and love and pour it into every single thing and being that surrounds me and that is within me. As love, we have desires, and desires are all good and fun up until we meet others. Is that right? And and so what is love? And as I'm speaking these questions, I invite you to answer them within yourself. I invite you to send me an email about it. I invite you to write a comment below or whatever it is that you're listening from and tuning in from. I invite you to maybe jot them down and then answer them in your own space or in your own time. But let's be honest, because this is what we are here for. What is love? Who are you? Beyond and beneath all of those labels and boxes and structures and models that you've been given and that have been overlaid upon you. How does love show up in love others? When I am uncertain of some things, I like to ask myself, is this what love would do? And if the answer is no, why? And I ask myself, am I conditioning myself and squeezing myself into something that is not what I've been told that is good, that is acceptable? So I would like to open up with one of my favorite quotes about love by Zelda Fitzgerald, one of the muses of our recent times. And she goes and serves us. Nobody has ever measured, not even poets, how much the heart can hold. How beautiful. Nobody has ever measured, not even poets, how much the heart can hold. And I would like to add, my dear girly Zelda, how much the heart can pour. I'm personally here to pour it so much love that is overwhelming sometimes. I won't deny that. We're not here to be love in our own safety, in our own security. And safety, I mean the comfortable place, your home, right? The comfortable space that you occupy normally in your life. And that is why there's relationships. That is why we are invited and kind of forced, hey, to relate with one another, deal with one another. And so as we step in the void, in the uncertainty of relationships and love, let us not ever forget that there's no possibility of quantifying. And so there is no limit or boundaries to how such love can be expressed and shared, and what this can edify for yourself and others. But as the beautiful, very famous banger, What is Love? Baby, don't hurt me no more. I feel that it's important to come and be honest today. Does love necessarily means that we have to hurt each other? And I'm just referring to what is in our control. I really don't want to jump too quickly into power trips dynamics and so forth, because I know that love is a huge can of worms, isn't it? But just like my dear friend Seven has told me today, I'm the early bird. We gotta be the early bird when approaching this can of worms. And so let us do that. It's 2025, and relationships have, especially in the last few years, have become definitely more transparent and a little bit seemingly challenging to approach, I'd say. Because as we grow into awareness, as we grow into more self knowledge, of knowing more ourselves, then all of the disillusions that in earlier times along our journeys were clouding a little bit a clear sight. Now, more and more, the veils are thinning and falling away. And so we well know that society standards about relating and relationships and religious programming and role models that are not just suggested, but enforced and reinforced by such institutions have led to a lot of confusion and struggles. Beginning with the most simplest one, which is not the topic of today, but the most simplest one being gender roles and what that might entail. And so, as love, as your mistress of this love ceremony today and the days to come, I wish for us to really come together beyond the separations and beyond the very needed differences that men and women embody, righteously so. And for us all to come to the altar together and remember that we are not bowing down to personal altars. We're not bowing down and serving the altar of men or women. Yet, in fact, we're serving the altar of love, the altar of the Most High. As a woman that leads a very devotional life, it is my sheer desire and yearning of my soul to keep on having faith in the love possible and available to us as men and women. And I'm not going to lie, it's been so challenging to not let the heartbreak of what I've witnessed outside of me or what I've experienced in my direct experience, in my individual past. And so today we lay the foundations of trust. Trusting that as long as we're willingly and intentionally and sovereignly, consciously serving this altar, that there is no possibility of failure. And that is priceless. And I hope that you can rejoice with me. And let me tell you, we're going to be talking about very uncomfortable stuff together. We're going to be, I'm going to give you access to not just the conclusions, because it's constantly evolving and reshaping. But let me use this term, the conclusions about love. And so we lay the foundations of trust. Because as long as we are trusting each other and as long as we trust ourselves, that the work that we're doing within ourselves is out of self love and out of genuine love and respect to others, then everything is possible. I've come across so many, so many people in my friend circles and strangers and clients that come perhaps to resolve relationship issues or that come to do couple therapy with me or they just simply come to heal those daddy and mommy wounds, right? That have honestly demonstrated that the first stumbling block is mistrust or a lack of specific quality thereof. And so the invitation for today is to ask ourselves, what is that I do not trust in the opposite sex? And in our conversations and in our explorations together, you will hear me a lot talking about sex as biological truth and not gender. And there will be episodes where we will dwell onto this, but this is just to give you some context. And so, how can we, every single one of us, after probably the disappointments and hurdles and sufferings, and in some cases, unfortunately, also abuses of different degrees and type, how can we start to trust? How can we find ourselves in the position to extend the gift of trust to someone else? And I find that this is key. I'm not ever going to tell you to trust everybody. I'm never going to tell you to extend trust just because you can, just because you have achieved a specific level of self trust within. Not under my watch. Definitely not. And so, and so the invitation begins in the body. Just like this journey of reawakening and descent, because we're not undergoing a journey of ascension. You're not going to hear any of that crap over here. But as we descend and remember in the body, and we activate on a cellular level our innate, so beautifully and divinely designed selves, as we embody and remember on a cellular level of our power and of our truth. And we really learn to listen, the intelligence of our body, and trust it. Then we can begin to pay attention to the physical cues of safety and discomfort that our body gives us with, and our spirit and our soul, right? So, once again, we are not here to trust everybody. Heavens no. I'm totally here to encourage you to refine your criatura instincts, your innate instincts, and to trust and to adjust and know how to trust that above what sometimes even the mind tells you. This is a journey of empowerment. We're not just here to talk about love. Yeah. But love is the is everything. It's encompassing everything. And so this is why this is our ground zero. But the journey is for you to connect more with spirit, to connect more with yourself, to really know thyself, guys, to really attune to that organic and authentic harmonics. So to recognize these harmonies, as simple as that. And so society is, and the last, I would say, two precession of equinoxes story that we have with us, we've come to a point where straight away the thought is like, I mean, I love that banger, but like to associate pain with love. And I don't want to hear Buddhism says life and everything is suffering. Chuck that shit away. I don't know if I can say shit on online, but we're just gonna roll with it. I'm Italian. I'm Sicilian. For us, saying these kind of things is not cussing. So I'm sure you all guys are grown ups enough, anyways. We've come to accept the association of love and pain. And for as much as it is necessary for us to break our muscles in order for them to grow and to recognize the places where we have not yet loved ourselves, and that's possible to be done through relating with other people. And sometimes this other person is your most significant other, and that is totally fine. And yet today, my most heartful prayer is for all of us to let go of this association. And so, what is love? Love is just love. Love will never hurt you. And so, if we have to be honest, do you think love is truly, truly possible? I mean, I assume that if you didn't think about it, none of us would be here today. But I feel that the main cause of pain in relationships is hidden agendas. Okay, guys, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I think I just talked for like half an hour. Maybe not, but probably 15 minutes on my own. And it didn't press resume for some reason, or it stopped. I'm not sure. So I don't really know when it stopped, but let me tell you, if I knew what I know about love and relationships right now, 10 to 15, 10, yeah, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, life would have been way easier. Relationships would have probably lasted shorter or longer, and and a lot of hardship, a lot of emotional emotional baggage, we can say, could have been avoided. And and so these transmissions are for who's really willing to be honest, but especially who has already decided within themselves that promiscuity and super dating with so many people, like, we don't do that. We are here to raise standards. We are here to honor our truth. We are here to consciously creating and co-creating with others at specific frequencies and emit and embody a specific purity. We don't have time for all the rest. Let go. Can we let go right now altogether? Even more, even deeper. Oh, a lot of those Disney programming, because I don't know you, but I surely was one of those that got raised with Disney movies, and honestly, that fucked up with my mind a little bit. That fucked up with my expectations a little bit. And I'm here to talk about expectations today. Just a little amuse bouche about expectations. Whoever is here thinking that love is meant to be unconditional and without expectations, please stop. Do yourself a favor, do everybody a favor. That love and light crap, that's fake. You are meant to have expectations. You are meant to have conditions in your relationships. You are called, and if you do love yourself, you shall do this with pride, with glee, I would say. Bestie, you better freaking demand something from your relationships. You better show up for your standard. Like, let's be super honest right here. What is that you want to create in this life? Who is that man and that woman that are moving about and showing up? What's their relationships like? I don't know you, but I'm done with non-reciprocal relationships. I'm done with below or bare minimum effort. I'm done with giving more than I receive. I'm fucking done. And so should you. And I'm pretty sure that if you're listening, or somehow you found your way here, you are too, as you should. Because I'm personally here to be nurtured and pampered and love upon the people that I choose to have around. And that is a privilege. Not in the way that there's like self entitlement or that I'm better than others. That is a privilege because the highest currency we have is our attention and time. Without giving life for granted, without filling empty voids, which you cannot feel from the outside, but I'm sure you already figured that out, with placeholders. And so this journey will talk about a lot about compromises, and we'll talk about expectations and conditions because I want you. to have a better life. I want you to demand what you deserve. I want you to demand that by emanation of who you are, to demand that for the meaningful people in your life. I so desire for you and your legacy to legacy. That is a German for saying your legacy to be like, yo, I'm proud because I've lived and loved to the fullest, but with intention. I intentionally watered specific plants and trees, and I specifically planted in the right soil and the right conditions and timings. A river is a river only if it's held within good banks. And so, without all the bullshit, without any filter, let's build it together, guys. And so, from Northern Rivers, Australia, I I wish you a beautiful evening, a beautiful day, in this magical land of obsidian and rivers. I don't know if you can hear in the background, but I have a private creek here at home. And so as you drift into your day, I'm gonna go drift in the waters. Yeah, like, subscribe, share your ideas and your comments, and if there's anything that you want me to talk about or that you would like to really dissect, send me an email and I gladly see what is possible to be done. I'm so excited for this journey. I appreciate you. I love you. And I thank you for the courage and the joy to show up in this life, despite the struggles, despite the heartbreaks of the past, and to show up renewed every day so that we can reharmonize our current relationships or just simply intentionally begin new ones with a newfound sense of love, of self, and connection to your body and spirit. I send you love. My name is Miriam Lev, and this is On the Edge of the Void.